have a certain level of production in order to have people to come onto your team to give them half cap splits. So my team, all my team members are on a half cap split, which means that instead of the 16, they are on 8. All right. And what happens is, they get to their cap closer, but they also have to give a minimum of 25% to me, the team leader. And each team leader has to decide what their team is going to look like, what you're going to pay for, what you're going to do. So, basically, you really should be running on your own with maybe just an admin up until probably, I'd say you probably could go 50 to maybe 75 transactions with an admin helping you out. Okay, your first hire should be your admin. So you're just, your first hire really should be your admin. If you decide not to do it that way, listen, everybody does everything differently, and I didn't hire my admin first. I hired my first buyer agent. So everybody does everything differently, and you have to figure out how you work better, okay? Now, being a team doesn't just mean that you have to do it, as you, the team leader, and then coming in with buyers agents or whatever. Every single of my agents is allowed to list and to sell. So you have to decide. I decided to start a team because, well, my first team member was my daughter. It just made sense that we would work together, and then our team grew as we organically started generating more leads. Let's see, I'm just trying to follow all these comments at the same time because there's nothing formal here on this. You guys, you can work together with a partner. So let's say that you have somebody in your office that you guys work together well. You could make an informal team where you work together and split things differently. It doesn't have to be a formal team. Or then you go into the formal team where I believe the minimum production for you as the team leader has to be $6 million in volume for you to be able to have a team member come onto your team and be able to reach that half cap versus the full cap. Let's see, does your admin help everyone on your team? Yes, my admin helps everybody on the team. How did your day-to-day efforts change from being a solo agent? I am still very active in my team lead. I have not gone over to the side of managing yet. So to give you a background, I came from a very large red brokerage with the letters KW in it. I was the owner of the brokerage, and I had 140 agents that were working underneath me. So I know how to delegate, I know how to do that, but I was also an active working agent broker. At the end of my franchise agreement, I decided that EXP was where I should come. I closed that Keller Williams office and came over here and let all of my Keller Williams agents decide where they wanted to be. So some of them stayed and some of them have come with me, and some of them have gone to other places, and it's all okay. What I have found is that in trying to learn about teams before I had my own personal team, at least on Long Island, the team people were not very giving on and telling what they wanted to do, or what they were doing. So coming to EXP was very refreshing in learning how to build a team. Now, some of you are going to be very numbers oriented, and shameless plug for that the book that Gary Keller wrote on teams. Everybody should have that book. Know your numbers, but if you're not so much of a number person, just know that you can build your business without knowing all of your numbers. It just depends on what you want to do. What I can say for building a team is that you need to be able to run the team to your personality, and you need to have people that work well with your personality. So if you have someone that you work well with, don't hesitate to bring them onto your team. All right. Let's see. Would you add agents to your team that you did not personally sponsor? Yes, I just added a new member who is not personally sponsored to me. He was actually, I am a certified mentor, and he was a mentee of mine. He graduated from the program and decided that he didn't want to be a single agent, and he asked if he could interview for the team, and he is not underneath me. So yes, I have hired people that are not personally sponsored by me. What does the end take on? They take on everything that you want, that you don't want to do. So like, they may take on making the appointments for the agents to go out on. They take some of the paperwork. They take some of the advertising on Facebook or other mediums that we advertise on. They can make the brochures. You know, the things that you should not be doing yourself, meaning that they are not income activities. You know, you don't make money unless you talk to somebody. If you're talking to somebody, then you have the opportunity to make money. So those are things that you do. How do you determine their pay? It really depends on where you are. Just know that, well, in New York, the law has changed, and we have to, if we have a person that is on payroll in New York, they now have to receive a certain amount of sick time off and all those things. So your pay and your structure, you need to find out what your particular state requires so that you don't get yourself in trouble. I have seen where people have done, they do salary only or salary with some sort of bonus. Again, check your state law, because you have to follow your state laws, all right? What else do you guys want to learn about teams? All right, I can tell you how my team runs, but that doesn't mean that, you know, just because I run a team a certain way doesn't mean that anybody or everybody runs their team the same way. I'm sure that I run mine very differently than most people do. My team members have the opportunity to pick what they want to pay to me. So they get the choice of a 25% split to me if they generate the lead on their own, and 50% if I give them the lead. They can do a 35% referral to me on everything, meaning whether I generated the lead or they generated the lead. So that's a very different structure than a lot of people. I don't have a mega team, which I am looking into. A mega team is where you have lots and lots of people on your team, and at some point the team leader writes a check or guarantees a certain number, and the cap goes down to an even smaller cap. So that is something that I am aspiring to, but I'm not at that point right now. Does the listing go under your name for advertising? So personally, on my team, I let the team member have their name first, and I'm listed as co-agent. A lot of the teams on Long Island, they do not allow their team members to have any kind of, they're just not on it. Everything goes underneath the name of the team leader. So again, that is up to you as a team lead how you want to do it. Personally, for me, my members mean a lot to me. You know, first of all, one of them is my daughter, and the rest of them are all like family to me. They've grown up with my kids or whatever it is, and they're people, and they're working, and they should be recognized for the work that they're doing, in my opinion. So I also build my team that they know that if they ever decide that they would like to branch out and go out and build their team, there's not going to be hard feelings, and you know, I will be happy to teach them everything that I know and help them, you know, move on to their next level. It's not about everybody has to be on my team for the rest of their life. You know, there's always a season for people, and that's what it is. So what's the financial benefit to everyone to be on a team? Support. There's a lot of support on our team. Our team members, you know, we have our own little chat, our own little text chat, and they ask each other, could you fill in on this inspection, or could you do this, you know, final walkthrough for me, or I can't make it to the So those kinds of things are going on within our team, and some people just don't feel that they can do business on their own. They just don't have the confidence maybe to not be on their own. A lot of times a team leader will be well known. If you're thinking of making a team, you probably are doing a good amount of business and you're well known. So if you're well known, they're borrowing on your name. I've been in the business for 21 years. I have a very good reputation. They borrow on my name all the time, and that's what it's for. Let's see, what are some of the other questions in here? Admin take on, recommend new agents or seasoned agents when building your team. I have had a mixture of both. Most of my team members have been new. When my daughter joined me, she was new. Let's see. I'd have to say the only one that is experienced is my newest team member, who is my mentee, and he really isn't that seasoned. So that would have to be up to you and the seasoned person. A lot of times a seasoned person that is doing well isn't going to feel like they need a team. So you guys have to figure out what it is that your team is. What do you stand for? What is purpose? Why are you doing it? If you're building a team just to make more money and to burn through people, which I've seen many teams on Long Island do that, you're going to have a rotating team, and it isn't beneficial for your team members to be on your team. But if it's something that you're coming from contribution, you are there helping them, you're mentoring them, you're teaching them to become the best agent that they can be. And you're also open to the fact that at some point they may not want to be on your team anymore because you taught them well to graduate out of your team and become their own person as a real estate agent or their own team leader in their own right. So what you need to do is you need to figure out, what do you want your team to look like? I've always been very clear that I want my team members to feel like they're part of my family. I want to make sure that, if I need to do something for my team member, it's not just about the money. If they need me in some other way, that I'm there as if they were my family. So that's the way that my team structure is. That's the way that my team runs. So when I'm looking for team members, I'm not looking for somebody to be dependent on me only. I'm looking for them to be able to generate some of their own leads. They're people. They have their own sphere of influence. Okay. Team commit looks like there seems to be some resistance to 50-50 splits, even though they're good. Okay. So, what are you giving that team member? Now, I know a lot of team people don't pay for things, but I personally pay for things for my team. So I pay for their board of realtor dues. I pay for their MLS dues. I pay for, some of their advertising. All of our listings get Matterport tours and professional photography. I pay for that. I pay for the signs to go into the ground. There are lots of different things that I pay for on my team that my team members feel that is good for them, that whatever split they chose to have, they feel like they are getting something in return. It can't just be that you are getting 25% or 50% or whatever it is that you're getting from them without giving them something back. Now, you have to determine what it looks like. If I take a new person on, they have to be with me for more than a year and do a certain amount of production, or I don't take over their fees. Okay, I pay my team's monthly fees. So you, as the team leader, have to decide what it is that you're doing. Does the listing go under your name? Again, on my team, it goes under the name of the agent that got it. So if I got the listing, it's my name. If one of my other team members gets the listing, it's their name with my name as co-listing agent. How about business cards website? So for business cards, I pay for that, and we have team branding. So In New York, it has to be the name of the person. It can't be anything cool like you guys get to have, but so we have to have our name, and it's to say team. So we're the McKenna team. We have our own logo that we use on the signs along with our EXP branding, and our cards, are the same. We have to have EXP branding on our cards, according to the Department of State. So we have our logo, and we have our EXP information, business cards, website. Yes. Do you new or used? Do you have brick and mortar office? I used to have a brick and mortar office because I closed my KW office. When the pandemic hit, I paid for my brick and mortar office for 4 months of the year, and I had the opportunity to get out of my lease because the owner of the building needed my space because she's a dentist and she needed a place to put people before they come into her office. So I got lucky and I was able to get out of my lease, and I will never go back to brick and mortar. There is no need. When we do team meetings, for the moment, we are doing them in our, in our cloud office. We go into our state brokerage room and use a room in there, and it's all fine, and everybody gets to learn to be in the world and access that part of it. That's the beauty of it. Finishing with 12 million this year solo, want to push to do 25 with the team. Any tips? So basically you have to decide what model you're going to do. I know of a team member, and not with EXP, she stayed with KW, but what she did was she built a team, and she doesn't have anybody on half caps, but they're quote unquote a very loose team, and Eddie's giving, she gives them a lead. She's either taking 50% or 25% referral fee. So is that the kind of team that you want to do, or do you want to actually formally make a team and have people go on half caps and that stuff? So that's the first thing that you need to do. The second thing that you need to do is figure out what kinds of systems and things that you have, and probably tear them up a little bit, because it's not the same working with a team as it is a solo person, because most solo people are doing your kind of business, do everything yourself, if I'm correct. And so it's getting used to handing things over to other people to do. You have to figure out how you want them to do it. So you need to have some sort of training, whether you turn the training over to EXP completely, or whether you do some of the training so that they are trained in the way that you like to do business. How many leads do I give my agents? My daughter, I give nothing because she doesn't want anything. She is a lead generation machine from Facebook and her sphere of influence, so she wants nothing. The others, most of my team members, any lead that comes in off the listings that I generate, they get. I am working on either learning myself or being ready to do our KV core at a higher level than it's getting done now. My CRM, I am using KV core. I figured we're paying for it in our monthly fees, and I am using it. Signage, let's see, I'm giving them Denise. Good. Denise, maybe you want to, you guys, you want to talk? You want to speak up and tell us what you're doing? Because you guys are Icon. If you don't know what an Icon is, an Icon has done, they have capped, and then they have gone beyond and done minimally 20 more transactions in order to Icon and get that free stock, and then they do some training. So I know I have some Icons in here, and I would love to hear what you guys are doing on your teams. If you'd like to step up and share.
Absolutely. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, everybody. This is Keith, EXP Realty, Icon agent in Southwest Florida, and we are too busy to keep up, which is why we are developing this team, I have the blessing of a lot of business that some of it is repeat and some of it is generated through other lead generating sources. So we've gone ahead and out of the KV Core team module, we're doing marketing. I have a girl come in every week and she helps me with the marketing side of things. I also have a transaction coordinator for everyone on the team, and providing them with the professional signage to keep the branding consistent. But still, I'm approaching a few people about joining the team, a little bit of resistance on that 50-50 split, because if you take a $1,000 commission and you break it down, 50-50 minus your 20% minus your 50-50 on fees, which is a good, that's the split. It just doesn't look like a lot of money. I get to cap at $8,000. So how do you overcome those objections? I feel like my value proposition is there, but Cynthia, you have more experience with this than I do, and maybe somebody else can also add to this discussion.
Right. So basically, it doesn't always come down to dollars and cents. What you have to do is you have to have the conversation with somebody and ask them, what is it that they're trying to do? And if you have a single agent that is doing, let's say that they're a little bit experienced and they've closed, 6 to 10 transactions a year, which is probably what most single agents do, right? What is it that they're trying to do for their family? And then once you figure out what they're trying to do for their family, then you can break it down into the dollars and cents for them. You have to provide value and you have to provide leads. Listen, you could pay and generate hundreds of leads per month if you want, and give them to them. And then, just how you clarify a lead too, so are you just having them, are you paying for hundreds of leads every month and then they are having to go through and sift through and find them, or are you giving them, part of what we do is if I get a lead, they're coming with me and they're doing open houses with me, and I'm not doing any of those people. I'm not taking any of those buyers out. I don't want to. So they have the ability of people that are really there, looking around for houses that have no agent, where if they then build the rapport, then they have a really solid lead that was generated and given to them, right? So what is it that they're trying to do, and how much money are they trying to make, and show them, okay, as a single agent and you did 6 transactions, this is what you earned. And if you did those same 6 transactions, what would happen if you were on the team, and how many more transactions would you need to do, or how many more transactions can I give you? I understand the 50-50 is a hard thing, and that's pretty much why my team was given the choice, because I had a little bit of that kickback too of, you can, when it came to 50% of their personal transactions, first of all, that was something that I didn't personally feel comfortable taking. I know that there are many teams that too. For me, if you're selling your grandma's house, I'm not taking 50% of it, So I do the 25% off of what they are generating on their own, and 50% of what I am, or it's 35% of everything, their choice, whatever they want to do. And they can change that on a yearly basis, not in, like I had one agent who chose 35% because I was giving her all of the leads. She was afraid to talk to her sphere of influence. And once she overcame that fearfulness and started getting more leads on her own, then she felt that it was too much to be paying, the 35% of everything. So when her year came around, we switched it up to 25-50. So, it's a conversation. Not everybody who says that they want to be on a team should be on a team, right? Not everybody who wants to build a team, you have to have an idea and you have to have that personal connection, So I think that's really important. Let's see. Anything else in here? What are we doing? Brick and mortar, 12 million. Did that help you? Okay. I pay
Thank you,
for a Team KV Core. I do not pay for Team KV Core. We're kind of doing KV Core in a different way. I want each and every one of my team members to set up their KV Core and try to lead generate with their KV Core on their own, because even though I'm paying for it, you don't have to pay for it. It's getting paid for from something. And each person on the team has a different interest and a different thing that they could do things. And so let me just give you the example. So on my KV Core, I'm a HUD broker in my county. So I have HUD properties, REO properties. I'm heavy into short sales. So the McKenna team has that on there. I have an agent that is really, really good at crochet and knitting and all of that stuff. And those are her interests. So I want her to develop her website to her personality, whatever that might be, right? I have another agent that is an active duty military person. So we're making his towards active duty and veterans and VA loans and stuff like that. So I think that although I can't see their people, it doesn't matter to me, because they are generating their leads and they belong to them, and they're at a 25% referral fee. And it doesn't matter to me because they are doing what they want to do. They have their own, I can't see their people either. Their leads are private. Yeah. But okay, so if I didn't give them the lead, does it matter that their leads are private? If somebody is going to leave your team, the leads that belong to me, but if I wouldn't want to take their sphere of influence, I'm not going to try and call grandma and their best friend and their whatever if they leave my team. So as far as I'm concerned, keeping their own KV Core is fine with me. And in SkySlope, everything shows up underneath a team when you have a team, so you can keep track of it. How do I disperse the leads? Those I have a spreadsheet, and I do it. And then sometimes I keep the leads in my KV Core, and then I'll just add their name to it. Or sometimes I'll transfer them. If random, I just transfer sometimes. That's what I do. Are we coming to the end of when we're supposed to be in here? I don't know who's in charge of the time.
Well, we were all running just a little bit late this morning, so perhaps KV Core might be here. But
okay.
I think it's kind of up to you. You could take an extra 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to keep anybody from what they were supposed to be doing. Okay, thank you. Okay. Do they input their own listings and transactions into SkySlope? Yes, they do. When they get a listing, they input their own stuff into the MLS, and we keep telling them to let the admin or me or somebody else do their SkySlope stuff. But what you're going to find is you're going to have team members that are, you're probably, if you look at your profile, those of you thinking of building a team are probably a D, or a DC or some version of that. And so you probably are attracting this kind of people to your team, and they want to take care of their own stuff. So I just let them do what they need to do. I go into SkySlope and make sure that all of the things that are people checking SkySlope are in there, and then we, that the splits are correct, and we go from there. Yes, this is going to turn into KV Core in just a few minutes. Does anyone else have any kind of team building questions or anything? Anyone? So if you want to get me, my name is Cynthia McKenna. You can feel free to, workplace message me if you want. Yes, so many. Okay. So what are they? Type them out, say them out, whatever. I'll try to answer as many as I can.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
So for recruiting and building your team, Do you target a specific type of agent to join your team, or do you take what comes your way? Do you take people you already have relationships, or how do you go about finding who you want on your team?
A lot of the times it's coming from my team members. A lot of my team members came from my daughter. She said, I have this, one of my team members, Kristen, was my daughter's friend for years and years and years, and it just made sense that she would join our team. My team member, Chris, became really good friends with my daughter, and it just made sense that he would come on the team. Jeff was my mentee, and he said that he wanted to come. So a lot of them come by referral. A lot of my peers, will call me and ask me if I'm adding to my team or whatever. I'm not, so on my team, I'm not looking to get rich off my team. I'm looking for us to be a unit that's moving together in the same direction, that all of us are making our goals, and all of us are getting what we need from our team relationship, if that makes sense. Yeah, so if I were to advertise for anybody, I have to have some serious discussions just to see if they were of the same mindset. I'm looking for people who are giving and not taking. So that's what happens. But a lot of them come from referrals from different people.
Thank you so much. That helps a lot.
You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, so hit me up on Workplace Chat if you want to do it. You can find me in the world all the time. I teach 3 Tuesdays out of the month. So typical for them to take 50-50 split. Again, that really is up to the team leader. So if you're on a team now and you're doing a 50-50 split, then that's your split, because that's the team that you're on. If you're a person in here that's trying to join a team, then you have some questions to ask to your team, to your possible team leader. What is the split going to be? Does that ever change? Does it progress? Is there an opportunity to make that less, and what would I need to do that? Are you paying for anything? What's the average number of leads that you think that I might be able to get a month? Those are some of the questions that you're going to want to do. You're going to know whether your team leader is a person that's just all about money and churning and burning, or they care about you as a person. Are they going to be somebody that's going to make you, a lot of people are into tracking. Denise said tracking. A lot of people are into tracking. I do track, but I don't to the point where I'm saying, well, what happened with this lead, and what happened with that lead, and what happened with this lead? It's more of a relaxed kind of thing. I give you grace. I give you a warning, and then, you might be off the team. I have had to remove team members, and that's not fun, and I don't like it, so it has to be win-win for both of you, or just do it. It has to be win-win for both of you. Anybody else? Are we moving into the time frame for KV Core? Are the KV Core people in here?
Yep, whenever you're ready.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna end the session. I hope that I helped you guys. And like I said, if you need me, my name is Cynthia, McKenna, and I am in Workplace all the time.